What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the post-credit chat. I'm Sam, this is Mark, and today we will be talking about Battlefield REDSEC. Before that, you can find us on our socials, that is Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, X, and YouTube at post-credit chat. We have we've been talking about it for, it feels like months now, gotten our hands on the official Battlefield Battle Royale.
Finally.
Yeah, I swear.
It's been some time.
Yes, we've been getting frustrated with Apex. We haven't touched Warzone. It's time. It was time for something new, right?
We've been waiting. I would say, like you said, a long time. And yeah, exactly what you said. Apex has been good to us, but we're ready for something new.
Yes.
So yeah, here we are.
Heck yeah. Well, I want to jump into it, kind of break it down by section. The first thing I want to talk about is the combat. How are we feeling about the weapons? Yeah, let's start with that. How are we feeling about the guns?
Yeah, I guess let me just say as a whole first, this game caught me by surprise. Battlefield is a game that it makes sense for them to have a battle royale, but it got to a point in the battle royale timeline as a whole for other games, and I mean just capital B battle royale, where I thought, hey, we're probably past it, and we're just not going to get the battle royale we figured or expected we would get from Battlefield.
Yeah,
we got it, caught off guard with it in a good way. But they also did a good job marketing it and leading up to it, and we kind of got a shadow drop of it. They never officially said it was going to come out at this time. We got it, and man, this game is fun.
Yeah, dude.
I got a lot of thoughts on this. But yeah, like you said, man, let's start off with the combat. And for me, these weapons are, I guess, I am really enjoying this game, but now I might tinker down just a little bit with the guns. I do like the guns that we have. I think there's a few ways to kind of look at Battlefield REDSEC's weapons that they have. They are, for the most part, I mean, there are guns that are really good, and then there are some that are just like, hey, you don't want to go near that or don't touch it, right?
Yes.
And then there's some that are like really OP and that like everyone should be going for. Like right now, I think the RPK is like one of the more meta weapons, I would probably say, as far as like mid-range gun to want to use.
Yeah.
And then the PW, I think for SMG, is that right? So there's definitely metas out there, and you want to kind of go look for those. People are probably going to write in the comments, hey, the RPK is not the meta. And I'm sorry, I'm just telling you what I like to use and what I have heard other people use as well. But we do have these guns, and I guess where I'm going with this is just like any other battle royale or any other multiplayer shooter, where there's going to be metas out there. But I think I'm trying to temper my excitement for the weapons, and here's why. The thing that I don't like about this is inevitable, and that's okay, but there are care packages. You can get your loadout in the game. And that means that, yeah, there's grinding that needs to take place in this game. You can build out your gun to be the gun that you want it to be. So you could get your loadout and completely have it over somebody who's got just a ground loot, right? The problem with Warzone, and I guess we'll compare in a few moments, and I'll kind of hit on this again, is that there's just a lot of weapons. And so I hope we just don't get to a place down the road where, because when you do this thing where people could build their weapons, I feel like you got to keep those weapons forever. And I don't know if REDSEC is going to be like hey, when we release Battlefield 7, 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road, or even a year. I have no idea when they plan to do it. I just hope there's, switching in and out of all this. So
yeah.
To answer your question more simply, I do like the weapons a lot in this game. I have some worries about them, but I do think time will really tell how these games or how these guns are going to look in the long run.
I hear you.
Say.
And something I think that kind of gets me, we have a buddy who really likes snipers. They're just really not, and maybe we're trash. Maybe that's what it is. I don't think the sniper is very good.
I haven't experimented with them at all. They're not good, you're saying?
Again, this could be totally just that I'm not good with them, but I have not had good luck with the snipers in this game.
Interesting. So I don't use snipers really in any of the games. Maybe in Apex, actually, I should take that back. I love the Sentinel.
Yeah.
But that's like Apex. That's, all these games are fictional, right? None of these are realistic. You're not going to have a firestorm or a gas storm or whatever, or lightning storm, however you want to look at it. But, Apex is a little bit more fantasy-like. And when I get to more of the realistic stuff and how movement could happen with, real people and whatnot. I mean, you're not
Mhm.
going to have real people like slide canceling. I get that. Don't come after me in the comments. All I'm trying to say is I feel like in the more fantastical game like Apex, I love the sniper, but
Mhm.
in the more realistic like Warzone or RedSec, dude, I do not want to touch a sniper at
That's
all.
totally fair.
No way.
See, I was a big fan. I think there was a gun called the HDR in Warzone. It was a
Yeah.
sniper, and that thing just absolutely ripped. They took away its ability to one shot. Now it's like, I don't even know what the point is, you know?
I remember you love that thing.
Yes, that was all I would use because it was so good. That and like a shotgun, which I'm going to get heat for that because a shotgun and a sniper is a stupid combo.
You
But
would run a shotgun in Warzone?
yeah, I would.
A sh-
There was one I remember that was so good, and I would run it almost every game. It was in my loadout.
Was that something you just did, or was there a shotgun meta? Because
Nope,
if there was, I don't
I
remember
just
it.
liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man, PC players,
Yeah,
unpredictable. Am I
exactly.
right?
That's exactly what it is. Kind of speaking on like the weapons though, does this feel like Battlefield to you? I've seen a lot of like kind of discourse online about this, about people saying that, Battlefield is kind of dipping their toes into the COD sector a little bit too much.
Yeah.
This is, again, I have no beef with it because I love the game, but this is like carbon copy of Warzone to me.
Yeah. So what I'll say is I only have experience with previous Battlefield titles.
Mm-hmm.
I am somebody who really wanted to pick up Battlefield 6 and just have not been able to do so yet. I could go buy it right now and be fine, but the problem is I just have no time for it. So I just have not jumped into it yet. And I am strictly like, I don't purchase a game until I'm going to play it kind of person.
Yeah.
With all that said, playing RedSec and not comparing it to previous Battlefield titles, just if I were to, invite someone over and say, hey, the new Warzone is out, come play it, and didn't tell them it was Battlefield based, I feel like they probably wouldn't see too much of a difference. There are some noticeable things, but those noticeable things could be viewed as updates to Warzone.
Yeah.
So I think this is almost a carbon copy of Warzone, but not in a bad way, honestly. Like, I love Warzone and I love the way it feels, but there's some things that they've got to get figured out with it. And we'll go over that in a few minutes, I'm sure. But I do think at the end of the day, yes, this feels like Battlefield, but there's a lot of Call of Duty in this, and that's not a bad thing. I kind of like that personally.
See, I agree with you. I've seen a lot of people online talking like, why are they doing this? Why are they straying away from like the Battlefield formula? I mean, shoot, COD's not doing good on their own right now. Somebody's got to step into that field, you know?
Right. Absolutely. And they're going into an era of COD where like it's one of their least popular
Yeah.
eras, right? Like the futuristic side of things. And I know not saying those games aren't great, but they're not as well received as just the modern era of combat. We haven't played about Black Ops 7 either, so I guess I can't really say anything yet, but still.
Yeah, that's totally fair. But I don't want to be cynical, but I'm not entirely hopeful for Black Ops 7. But that's a different conversation.
I know. And here's my thing. If I had all the time in the world, I would 100% jump into Black Ops 7. But I don't.
Yeah.
You don't. We don't.
No.
We don't have all the time in the world.
Sparing with your time.
Absolutely. And I want to give my time to games that are looking interesting. The bottom line is that look interesting to me? And I think RedSec has caught my interest for some time now for plenty of reasons. And one of those reasons, or a few of them, might have to do with Call of Duty falling off a little bit with their Battle Royale. And
I agree, 100%.
They could come back. They're like a $9 billion, I don't know how much money. They got a lot of money.
Stupid money.
They can come back. They can do whatever they want to make it work. But,
and I hope they do.
Are they willing to do it?
Like, I want COD to work out, but I haven't seen it yet. But anyways, continuing on RedSec, I do want to bring up, I think my favorite mechanic of this Battle Royale is the ring and how it's just insta-kill. I love it. I love it. There's none of this, like, Fortnite had it really bad for a while, where you can just kind of sit in the ring and just do nothing the whole game and get, like, top 5. You get just nuked if you're in a ring on this game.
It's fun. I mean, there's an intensity to it, right? And you feel the pressure, and you're exactly right. Like in Apex and Fortnite, kind of in Warzone. Like you can't stay in the ring long in Warzone, even with a gas mask. Like your time is limited. But even in those games, you can camp out in Storm for a longer period of time than just 0 seconds, right? With RedSec, that firestorm is intense and it is so cool at the same time. Like the one thing everyone likes to compare this to, the thing I've seen the most is like you are playing a Michael Bay movie.
Yes.
And I agree with that. It really is kind of cool in that way, right? And so, yeah, the storm is cool. It even is kind of intense for people who like to stay out on the ring of Storm and kind of move in with it, I would say. You can't really do that. You can, but I don't think it's even if you touch Storm, you die. I think it's if you're really close to it, you die as well.
Yeah, you start taking damage, and then so the way it works is like you have a little tracker that says how many meters away you are.
Okay.
I think once you hit 5 meters away, you start taking like damage over time, and then once it's down to 0, you're just gone. It doesn't like knock you down. Your teammates can't come get you. You are out of the game entirely.
See, we have fortunately not fallen victim to that
Not yet, but I'm sure it will happen.
It's definitely going to happen.
Like,
it will.
Especially
it'll be funny.
Once we get a little bit better, and don't get knocked out too early. I'm sure those final rings are just nasty now. Like you've got 3 or 4 squads fighting in there and everyone's trying not to get killed. My gosh.
Yep. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, like as time goes on with this Battle Royale. As people get more comfortable with the mechanics of it and kind of what their aim is for this Battle Royale, it's only going to get better. And that's what I'm really excited about for it.
I agree. I think that they've got enough resources. I know they have an entire team dedicated to REDSEC. So I have faith that the changes that need to get made, they'll make, and the additions that they need to add will happen.
We're going to get a good game.
Yes. So kind of moving into the last thing I want to talk about, what do you think the future of this game is going to look like? And what do you want to see for this game?
Well, they've been very prominent on letting us know they are going to maintain a very natural and as close to realistic feel as you could get with this game, right? They're not going for anything outlandish or silly. We're not going to get the Simpsons skin in this game. To be honest, I think they even removed a skin that they put up. It was
yeah.
Did you see that?
I did. It was
okay. I think it was a soldier in a purple or blue skin and armor, I should say.
Yeah.
And, got some backlash, especially after their trailer of not having silly skins came out. But when I read that they removed that skin, I was like, hey, you got to give it to them. They are listening and they are working with their customer base. And that's special to hear. So if they keep up with that, they keep doing things similar to that, where they are, hey, we are going to continue to support the fan base and do what the players want. I mean, I can't believe COD hasn't done that. They have done it in some ways, actually. We got to pay respect where respect is due. But for the overall, give us an anti-cheat that is going to work in COD, right?
Please.
Give us, I don't know. I guess, let me talk a little more, I guess, comparing it to Warzone and Apex.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can, because here's my thing. My biggest thing, and I think for a lot of other people, it could be different, but for most people, it's probably going to be the weapons. That's the biggest thing for me is weapons. When we look at a Battle Royale, what is the one thing that matters the most? And it is the weapons. Now, if Battle Royale was a new thing coming out next week and we had, EA, hey, we're going to put out Battle Royale and, COD, hey, we're putting out a Battle Royale and or Respawn or whatever. And then even, Battlefield, we're going to put out Battle Royale. If all these companies were putting out a brand new Battle Royale next week and no one knew what a Battle Royale was, it wouldn't be weapons for me. It would easily be probably oh, how cool is the map or how big is it? Or I have no idea, something like that. But the thing for me is this: Battlefield made it weapons for me. And I'm not saying that in a good way. Fortnite didn't make it about weapons. Apex didn't make it about weapons, kind of. It was COD. And here's the reason why. COD has given us way too many guns to choose from. There are way too many weapons. There's a catalog of guns that you can now pick from when you log into Warzone of previous games that you've Call of Duty iterations that you can go purchase and play. And all of those guns are now in a crock pot of a weapon pile in Call of Duty Warzone. And it is such a mess. And it's so frustrating because now we probably have only a couple guns that are meta compared to, however, the 200, 300 guns that they have in this now, when there should be like 20 meta,
Yes.
or 40 meta. I have no idea, but there's only a couple guns right now that are meta. And what I want us to see and get away from with COD is all those weapons. Here's where Apex is winning as far as guns go for all these battle royales. They have an R301. They have your light guns, your heavy guns, your energy guns, your snipers, your shotguns. Am I missing anything? I think that's it. And then they have like an AR for each of those categories. They have a SMG for each of those categories, kind of, except for the sniper and shotgun, obviously, but the energy, light, and heavy. So anyways, where Apex thrives with its weapons is there's all the weapons that they're ever going to have are already in the game. They might add a new gun, like they did with the Nemesis or the Rampage, stuff like that down the road, or they might update a gun, but they are not dropping new weapons all the time. In fact, it's very rare that they do that. And so I think the win for Apex is that it's an even level playing field with the guns. You can't customize your gun before the game. All the loot for your gun that you could build is in the map. So everyone has equal access to going and finding these attachments for your guns. For Warzone, you can kit out your gun, kind of, I don't know, play like a little weasel and then go get money and then get your care package. And then you have this kitted gun when other people probably don't. And you're going to smoke them because you probably have a meta and you probably are cheating, right?
Yep.
For REDSEC, the cheaters are very few and far between. I've seen that there are a few out there. That's inevitable. We knew it was going to happen. But in REDSEC, you can get a care package. But right now, we only have the one set of guns that are from Battlefield 6. We will see. The big tell for us is going to be when Battlefield 7 releases.
Yep.
When Battlefield 7 releases, then we are going to know a little bit more of how they're going to treat the guns that we currently have. What would be a shame, though, and it is what it is, it's going to happen, is we put all this effort into upgrading the guns we currently have, and then they drop the new Battlefield, and now we got to go work with those. And that's what I hate about Warzone, and that's what I'm going to hate about this. Fortnite is very similar to Apex, where the guns are the guns. Now you can't get attachments, but I don't really know fully how Fortnite works. I haven't played it in forever, but anyways, comparing it to the other battle royales, that's kind of where I'm at with the gun side of things. I do love REDSEC, and I will say this. I think it is, at the moment, the best battle royale that we have access to. I think it is better than Warzone by far, if that wasn't obvious already. I like this more than Fortnite. And if we're looking at Apex, just these three other heavy hitters, I think this is a way better battle royale at the moment than Apex Legends. Apex has some great things going for it that really none of these other battle royales are going to touch. But REDSEC is new. It's gorgeous. The map is awesome. The guns feel fresh. You can easily 1v3 a team, 1v4 a team. Apex is very, it's not an easy game.
No.
But, you're going to get smoked in REDSEC in less than like 2 seconds if you can't hold your own. In Apex, if you're getting shot at, you have health, you got shields, just like you do in these other battle royales, but you got way more.
And you got movement.
You can
like you're so fast in Apex.
You could run away, you could weasel your way out of there, but REDSEC is so difficult, and you have to be aware at all times. This is not a game for, in my opinion, and this is coming from someone who has logged in, what did I say? A couple thousand hours in Apex Legends.
Yeah.
This is coming from someone who's logged in a lot of hours in Apex. You cannot come from Apex Legends and come to REDSEC and just smoke everybody if you are not hitting your shots. If you're hitting your shots, then you should be fine. With that being said, I also don't think you could go from REDSEC to Apex and just be successful either. Like, they are two different games.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if I have to put a crown on one, it's REDSEC all day. But if you hold them both in front of me, what would I rather play? I would much rather play REDSEC. I've got some friends who love Apex, and I love playing Apex with them because that's what we have just gotten so much closer together as a friend group playing. So yeah, I want to continue playing that with them as long as they want to play that. But if they were to say to me, hey, let's play REDSEC, then I'm all in. Drop Apex, let's go.
Heck
So
yeah.
yeah, sorry, I talked a lot, but that's my
No,
thoughts.
dude. And what I think really gets me with RedSec, and we're kind of talking about how does it feel like Battlefield. RedSec, you have to be strategic. There is
Yep.
no running in or anything like that. You can't just like push kind of willy nilly like you can in some other battle royales.
Right.
You have to play slow, which is weird because it's also a fast game. So it's this. I haven't found it yet, but there's a very specific balance that you have to strike with this game. And I
Yep.
like that a lot. It's fun to learn a new game because I don't know. I mean, past Warzone and Apex, I haven't played any other battle royales since, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds back in 2017,
Yeah.
2018. So it's good to get a new, fresh game to learn and play with other people as they learn it as well.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I didn't even jump into PUBG
Oh,
that much,
I loved
to be
PUBG.
honest.
PUBG is great.
Yeah. I know it was like the gold standard when that thing came out. And it was also probably the only battle royale at the time, and Fortnite soon followed. But
I built my
yeah.
PC to play PUBG.
Did you really?
I did.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I had friends
I
playing
love
it. I'm
that.
like, man, I got to get on this.
How cool, man. Okay. Yeah. Gosh, I'm like listening to the words I just said, and I'm like, or thinking about, I'm like, man, I hope I didn't say anything like, controversial, because I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm just trying to be truthful. And I guess for me, like, I do think, as terms of like what's harder, I guess that's like, debatable, but like, I do think kind of like what you're saying, like you're going to get smoked in RedSec if you're not aware,
Mhm.
right? In Apex, you can like, hey, we're going to go push. We got these powers. We could go, port over here if we need to, if, we're getting, really lit up or whatever. But yeah, RedSec is just like, this is, a lot of people would compare like Warzone as like the adult version. The kids could go play Fortnite. Like now RedSec is the adult game. It just is.
Yeah.
That if we're comparing it like that, I'm not saying I'm comparing it like that, but if that's, if we were comparing this 4 years ago, 5 years ago, this is what that game is. This is
Yeah.
what RedSec is.
Yeah. And dude, for me, I'm just excited to play more of it. That's like
100%.
RedSec, please.
Wednesday nights.
Yeah. But anyways, to kind of end out, I do want to, and I know that this is super, super fresh, so it's maybe
Yeah.
hard to do, but let's talk about a score. Where are we thinking on that? Let's do out of 10.
Okay. Like when I don't game as much as I'd like to. With that, I probably game a lot more than the average person. So when I do game, I'm thinking about RedSec. I
Mhm.
want to go play RedSec. This is the game I want to go play. With that being said, and you just said it, it is fresh. It just came out. So there are like things to consider, and we got to see, what does it look like, not only 3 months from now, we need to see what it looks like after COD releases.
Yeah.
Do we have the player base remaining, or is everyone moving over to Warzone again? And so who knows? But I would give this game, I'm going to give it a solid number. No 0.5s, no
I like it.
0.3s. I'm just going to go a simple 8 out of 10. I am loving this game a whole lot right now. I think it's really good.
Heck
So
yeah.
8 out of 10.
Dude, I'm kind of right there with you. I think I'm going to go a little bit lower with a
Okay.
7.5 just because I don't want to like, honestly, this is to manage my own expectations. I want to see what they do with it in the future before I give it a higher rating because
Yeah.
honestly, I think they're going to do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, 7.5 is where I'm going to sit. And I don't think that's bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing by any means.
No.
I think that's great.
Right now, it's better than I expected it to be. And I had pretty high expectations for it.
Yeah, dude. I think a lot of like the success of this game is based on what they have done to like market it so far.
Absolutely. I mean, the game's a spectacle. It looks sick,
It does. It looks great, but they've set proper expectations.
Yes.
And I think all of them have been met for me so far. So, yeah.
I agree with you. And with that, we'll kind of close out our review. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening to us talk, yap. You can find us again at Post Credit Chat on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, X, and YouTube. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.